Saturday, March 8th. We have all of your forecast details in just a second, but I want to show you this clip out of Vernon. Conditions are calm, but cloud cover. Yeah, we got some rain on the way, a soggy pattern for those across British Columbia. Meanwhile, in Calgary, it's back. Yeah, snow, that's back. We are monitoring some more snow on the way for some of you across the prairie provinces and Alberta. And on the east, we've seen a little bit of a roller coaster ride. You had plenty of snow this winter that has soon melted. And then we got some cooler conditions that likely would have frozen any of those puddles that you've seen. Similar in Ontario too, but this gentleman is taking advantage of the cloud cover, the cold temperatures. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's a cold plunge there, but looks like he might need a vacation like many of us do. I'm Fenn Alvarado with all of your forecast details as we monitor back-to-back clippers across southern Ontario. We could also see some instability across the prairie provinces and some more snow on the way for those in Atlantic Canada. Before I get into your forecast, I do want to remind you that the clocks are springing forward. I always remember spring forward, fall back. 2 a.m. local time on Sunday, March 9th. You're going to want to move your clocks ahead 1 hour before you go to bed so that you're not late for anything that you have planned on your Sunday. Well, you may have woken up to some snow across southern Ontario. Just a light dusting fell, but we do have some more on the way with another clipper that is making its way through Saturday night. Overnight, you'll probably experience the heaviest snowfall totals, especially if you're in Timmins. That's where you could see upwards of 10 centimeters, but other places further south along the GTA area, up just upwards of 3 centimeters is possible. Now, those temperatures, a whole other story. We're just around the freezing mark for many of us. Ottawa is at -3. Meanwhile, further east, you are a little bit chillier. But as we jump ahead to Tuesday, this is the day you're going to want to take advantage of the warmth. Windsor could possibly get upwards of 17 degrees. More spring-like conditions, I guess you could say, is on the way. Now, as for Quebec, we could see some snowfall lingering. That's going to clear out, and it's mainly just cloud cover for the rest of your weekend. So not much precipitation, but your temperatures, you'll also get a little bit of a warm-up on your Tuesday, jumping up to 9 degrees in Montreal. Meanwhile, in Atlantic Canada, you are still holding on to a little bit of that colder air, where the Maritimes are feeling more like -3. You can see Charlottetown, Moncton at -3. Meanwhile, in Newfoundland, you're just around the freezing mark, and that's where we'll experience the heaviest snowfall in the upcoming days. Saturday evening, that's when you could see some snow across Newfoundland, eastern portions of Newfoundland and western portions of Newfoundland. If you're on the west, that's where you could experience upwards of 20 centimeters of snow, whereas anywhere further south could see upwards of 15 centimeters. And if you're in the Maritimes, just about 3 to 5 centimeters is possible. Those winds, I should mention, are also ramping up along the east coast, upwards of 80 kilometers an hour. So just keep that in mind. Taking a look at your temperatures across Alberta, still warm, 13 degrees in Calgary and Medicine Hat. You're still warm in British Columbia too, but you will have to contend with some rain. As we head into your Sunday, you still have some heat being held on to. Medicine Hat could get upwards of 16 degrees, but we have an interesting setup here. As we watch this low make its way across the Rockies, that's when you could experience some snow. As it heads over the Rockies, it creates condensation that should fall in about more of like a wet snow. It's not cold enough to create fluffy blowing snow, and if you're further south of Alberta, anything that falls could just melt as soon as it makes contact with the ground. Keep in mind, across the QE2 through that Edmonton area, that's where we could see upwards of 5 centimeters, and then that starts pushing towards Swan River, and then eventually northwestern Ontario. Now, here's a look at how much snow you could see falling. The heaviest amount through the foothills, Jasper, upwards of 30 centimeters possible, and on the far west coast, it's more of a rain story for you for the next couple of days. 100 millimeters possible for that Tofino area. Meanwhile, Vancouver, the Metro Vancouver area, 75 millimeters is possible for you. Those freezing levels just around 1,200 meters, and they're slowly going to rise as we get into your work week. And the next 7 days is looking like a soggy pattern for those in Vancouver. Pack your umbrellas and your raincoats.